It is so great seeing my next guest back in action. February 5th, UFC Fight Night, taking on Tresean Gore. It is Bryan Battle back here on the program. Bryan, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to, talk to the people, you know what I'm saying, especially before a big fight. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it is a big fight. Were you expecting this to happen just with what happened on the show and everything? I think the fans are the ones who are really excited about seeing this fight.
Honestly, initially, like I thought it was going to get rebooked right away, but then when it didn't get rebooked right away, I stopped thinking about it as much. You know what I'm saying? There's been other guys, talking junk about, if they were on the show, talking junk about, if they would have fought me. So I was starting to think about other people. And then they, they approached us with this fight, and it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm an independent contractor. You know what I'm saying? You just send the contract my way. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the job done. But what's cool about it is the public reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like I really feel like two people of me and Tresean's stature shouldn't really have, or it's not usual that we have kind of the hype behind a fight with one guy being 3-0, me being I think the UFC has me at 7-1 right now. So, that's nothing compared to a lot of these guys on the card. So the fact that we got the hype that we do is kind of awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like the public reaction makes it a lot cooler.
Well, and I also think, do you think this fight is bigger now because of what happened? This didn't take place in the finals. It was something that's happening later. And obviously, you always hear that talk of, we want to see this fight. Like, do you feel like in some ways things worked out for the better that you guys are now fighting here in the UFC and, that there's been a bit of anticipation for it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, man, as long as he shows up and, there's no more pullouts or any more drama like that, fingers crossed no one gets any Omicron, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, at first I didn't think it was something I thought where someone actually brought it up to me. If we fought each other down the road, then it would be really fun. It'd be easy to hype that up, but we don't even need to fight each other down the road. You know what I'm saying? People are making a big deal out of it now. So, I'm pretty geeked and ready to go.
Yeah, and let's talk about the matchup itself. He's got 3 fights. I guess you could add up the Ultimate Fighter fights as well. But how do you feel like you match up against him style-wise in this matchup?
Style-wise, first of all, we can't move on without addressing the thing that everyone sees with the eye test. You know what I'm saying? He's an athletic specimen. You know what I'm saying? He's probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest middleweight that I've seen, in my time being a middleweight. And, he's got nice hands, you know what I'm saying? He's got good kicks. With that being said, the biggest thing is his grappling is, up to this point been more or less a non-factor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he subbed a can, but, anyone at the UFC should be able to sub a can. You know what I mean? On the show, he didn't threaten to take anyone down for rub. He took a shot on Ryder for a hot second, but nothing really too threatening or dangerous. So with that being said, he's kind of on the one-dimensional side. You know what I'm saying? I've displayed my skills on the feet. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my resume, you'll see that, the bulk of my wins have come by submission. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm more of a dual threat. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know what to necessarily prepare for because he's known about me for a while. You know what I'm saying? On the regional scene, I'm known for grappling. I'm known for taking people down and beating them up. On the show, they called me a striker a lot on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, now people who just watch the show, they think I'm this, this dude who dances around the damn octagon for, the whole time and picks people, a stick and move kind of fighter. So, I just have a little bit more variety. I can adjust myself to whatever situations there, and we're prepared for everything. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to come out and if he wants to take a shot, I'm gonna sprawl on his ass. You know what I'm saying? If he comes out and his boxing looks super crisp, we got answers for that. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I'm prepared for anybody, not just Tresean, anybody. You know, if anybody was coming in, I'd be super confident. So I'm just ready to get in there February 5th.
Yeah, and it sounds like as well when you comes to training camp, you sort of prepare your skill set and not necessarily on the opponent, because like you mentioned, you're kind of hinting at it here, like maybe this might not happen this fight, right? So you kind of keeping that in the back of your head that if there is a late switch up, you'll be good to go because you've worked on the things you're good at.
I mean, and something I always tell people is the when I first started training, you know, I didn't start training so that I can be afraid of other people. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
started
yeah,
training so that I could walk into a room and feel confident that I was the baddest dude in that room. You know what I'm saying? And I could handle my business if it needed to be handled. So definitely, you know, there's a reason Trey's been fighting way longer than me, and he has less amateur and pro fights than me, and that there's a reason he has less fights than me because he's less dependable. You know what I'm saying? And so when he gets into the octagon, you know what I'm saying, it's usually pretty spectacular. You know what I'm saying? He always puts on a great show when he gets there, but the problem is getting there. So I'm right now I'm fully locked in on Tresean, but there is something in the back of my head that is like that if he does pull out, I'm trying to fight February 5th regardless. So
yeah.
um yeah, so I'm ready for anybody, no matter what
Okay.
the situation.
How's camp gone so far? What's camp looking like leading into the fight? And who are you mainly training with for this fight as far as training partners?
Um, well, camp as this has been a pretty unique camp because it's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? You know, I haven't stopped training since the show ended because if you go back to some of those old interviews, I was telling people I wanted to fight in December. You know what I
I
mean?
remember that. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and so I've been, you know, training since August, thinking that I would fight in December, and then, you know, then the fight with Trey gets announced, and you know, I just felt good, and I was like, dude, I can keep getting better. You know what I'm saying? I can keep on growing, and that's all I've been doing all this time is just been getting better and growing. Everything that was a strong suit when I was on the show, I'm better at. Everything that was, you know, a weakness is, you know, less of a weakness. So it's been a pretty phenomenal training camp. I've stayed at home for this one. You know, I've been working with my boys at highest stand. You know, highest stand. I've been getting good grappling rounds at Charlotte Jiu Jitsu. You know what I'm saying? You know, getting work with my boys over at Mountain Warrior, and strength and conditioning at Velocity Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? There's just I've been very blessed. You know what I'm saying? That I don't have to leave my home to get tremendous amounts of work, because that's one thing, you know, being on the show, I saw what it takes to be at that level, and I can still get that work right here. And that's, you know, we've been putting in great work here. You know what I mean? It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
that's great. Who's going to be making the trip with you? Who will be in your corner for this fight?
My three coaches who were in my corner last time, Sensei Tom, Sensei Kevin, Sensei Tony, they'll all be there. I'm
Nice.
going to have my buddy and good teammate, he's like a brother to me, Shamik. He's going to come down and help me with just the week of preparation stuff. You know, Shamik Harvey, that's a name. If you don't know it yet, go ahead and get on top of it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be coming up soon. 2-0 as a pro. Is about to be 3-0 at the end of February. You know, if they have the flyweights fight on the Ultimate Fighter, you know what I'm saying? He might be the next champ, Ultimate Fighter champ out of the North Carolina. So nothing too different from last time. You know what I'm saying? We're just way better than we were last time.
How do you envision the fight playing out on February 5th? I know you signed the contract with the intention of getting the win, but how do you envision it going down?
Well, you know, this is one of those things where there's always a million different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you always try to be prepared for, you know, all the best scenarios. You know, where I could go in there and I could, you know, knock him out with one punch. You know what I'm saying? I'm also ready for him to come in, and you know, I have to fight back from getting dropped from, you know, a punch early on. You know what I'm saying? Is prepared for all the different scenarios in my head. The one that, you know, I think most people think makes sense in their head is, you know, we have a relatively competitive first round. The further we get into the first round, the more I'm going to start to take over, and then going into the second round is when I'll go for the kill. That's just generally the way things go in those fights. The first round is a qualifier round. You know what I'm saying? We got to see if you belong in there in the first place. The second round is, you know, the kill round. If you get out of the second round, then we're in a war. You know what I'm saying? But I don't anticipate this fight getting to the third round, in all honesty.
Love it. Do you have any goals for this year? I don't know if you're a guy that jots those down or anything for the year, or what's sort of your thoughts on what's to come for you?
Dude, I just want to fight, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this year,
Three times a year, I imagine you want to get in there?
three at least. Like four would be ideal. You know what I'm saying? Four is about 4 fights a year is about where I like to sit. You know what I mean? And because yeah, right now, I'm unranked. You know what I'm saying? So I got time to to deal with any unranked guy talking any kind of smack. You know what I'm saying? I'll be ready to go up whenever they need me to. My confidence is super high. So, right now I'm in a great place where I'm a little bit more flexible. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I continue to win and climb up the ranks, my flexibility is going to get, I'm going to get less and less flexible with who I can fight and who it makes sense to fight. But right now, it makes sense for me to fight anybody. So I just want to fight 3 to 4 times. And then by next year, when I figure where I'm at after winning 3 to 4 times, then I can have a little bit more of a concrete, I want to fight this guy and then I want to fight that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go, what's downtime looking like? I know that the time is focused on camp and getting ready for this fight, but are you getting in any Netflix or video games, anything like that? What have you been up to when you're not training?
Well, I am kind of a little bit of a weeb, you know what I'm saying? I get my anime, you know what I'm saying? There's
Oh,
a little
awesome.
bit of some spiritual motivation watching them overcome obstacles, you know what I mean? So the new season of Attack on Titan just came out. Wonderful. Demon Slayer, new season. Wonderful. Uh Video game wise, I played Doom Eternal because there's actually I didn't play video games a whole lot until after my son was born. And so since my son was born, there's a lot more time where I just gotta sit still and like hold him. And so in order to stay awake, I started playing games so I wouldn't fall asleep holding them. And so I got pretty good at Doom. Doom's pretty intense. That game stresses me out though. I feel like that's not a break from it's
Right,
not a break, man.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to stop playing that game. It stressed me out too much. I was like, this isn't even fun anymore. This feels like a job. But yeah. Mainly if I'm trying to relax, watching either some anime or like a stupid 10-minute YouTube video or something like that.
You got to figure it out, man. Bryan, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to the fight. UFC Fight Night, February 5th. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Always got to thank, the home gym, highest stand, all my coaches, Sensei Tom, Sensei Kevin, Sensei Tony, shout out to Sensei Gokor who founded it. Big shout out to Iridium Sports, Jason House, Jacob Praga, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, have been great, have been awesome. Sponsor wise, cancel couture, you know what I'm saying? It's nice clothing brand. They got my shirts. So if you want some shirts, look up Cancel Couture. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a awesome shirt with me throwing a flying knee, which isn't made up. That shirt is based off of a real picture from a real fight where I threw a flying switch knee. It's a pretty cool shirt. It's very personal. And yeah, man, shout out to my wife because she puts up with all this insanity. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, I could be saying thanks to people all day, man. Shout out to my family, my dad and my mom. Oh man, yeah, and shout out to you, man, for having me on the show today, man. I appreciate it, brother.